The polls weren't enough, though. And so after about 4 or 5 months, when we proved that we could do this and nobody got hurt, I was able to find a couple of enlightened folks in regulatory and legal and IT, and we made a very strong case that we need to have some interactivity. So we started to create the first compliant, pre-moderated comment functionality that our company built internally on its own platform. And when I first went to IT, they said, "Oh, we don't match their technology yet." And about 2 days later, I got a call, and they upgraded 2 of their platforms so they could do this, because I think they kind of realized that if they did it, they would be the first in the company to be able to push that needle. So, I mean, I was very fortunate to have enlightened partners, which is a big part of it. This is what it looks like. This is the posting. We've changed this about 4 times since I launched this, because the users are always telling us different things in their comments. But in order to submit a comment, you've got to accept that, and then you've got to read it again. So we try to let the folks know as often as possible, if you mention a product, we can't post you. If you have an AE, here's the FDA phone number. This is for the topic we're asking, and the topic aligns with the caregiver issues. This is what my pre-moderation role is about. This is the parking lot behind our technology platform. So when a comment comes in, it gets an ID, because when we pass it around internally, we can't have that person's name for privacy reasons. So you look at it, and you're able to push a button. As soon as you push approve for homepage and update, it goes live. But until it does, nothing happens, and I'm the one who has to push the button. And I've got accountability per our social media guidelines. And if we see rejected with BRM follow-up, that last line there on that box, that is the AE reporting. So if something looks a little bit like an AE, my responsibility within 24 hours is to report it to that organization, and then they suss out whether or not it's an AE. And that whole compliant process has been built in. So I had the call center and the AE folks learn Facebook. In 2009, Facebook changed the design on us, and so rather than a static website, I think what Facebook did was, my feeling is they upped the ante, and they saw companies putting out static websites, and they made all group pages have status updates. And at first it was very difficult because they changed the navigation and it wasn't as intuitive. I think in the long run it's a good thing, and I'll show you why later. 2009, we also wanted to expand our footprint, and that's when we had to do the business case for another community, because we'd only had moms. We had about 7,000, 8,000 fans, and we saw another opportunity. We also saw it as a responsibility because our drug is indicated for adults and children. And because we knew, again, we did our math, and we knew that the patient population was inheritable and that there was a lot of cross-pollination of issues, we realized that having 2 communities would allow us to help cross-pollinate those insights, and that's exactly what we did. So we launched ADHD Allies in April, and we used a multimedia press release, which is a press release with video embedded in it, and that got picked up a great deal. We didn't have a celebrity, and we were very careful because our concern was adults may feel stigmatized by this, and they may not feel like they can talk about it openly. So who in Facebook is really going to join this kind of community? And we were surprised. What we did was, now that we have these 2 communities, what's really interesting is looking at the metrics. The best metrics will answer questions, but the most important metrics will make you ask more. And what we found was that different communities act in different ways. And in one community, the ads drew it, and in one community, it was the media that did it. The interactive ads, the most important thing here is that if people saw other people click to it, they'd click too. Here's the interesting thing. We ran those ads for a couple of months, and as soon as we stopped running the ads, the fan growth stopped. And then we did an SEM trial balloon, and that really didn't yield us as much as the ads did. Again, look at the metrics here. These pretty much look scaled. By July of 2009, there were 150 million more people on Facebook. Our ads were much broader. It wasn't just us, it was the landscape itself. But if you look at that last bullet, 137 screener downloads, we have symptom screeners, pediatric and adult. The difference there, this is what the users are telling us. The users are telling us the caregivers know their kid is diagnosed. They don't need to screen. The adults, the vast majority of that 1 in 20 are not. And their epiphany, their moment of diagnosis usually comes after having their kid treated because of the inheritability. So that bullet point right there shows us that our users are telling us what we thought. Again, this is what helps traffic. The users will tell us what's relevant. It's not up to us. It's not about us. It's about them and having them tell us what they react to. This is a little digital dashboard that I created, and basically what you'll see here are the squares or media stories, the little circles, little gold circles right down there. Those are status updates. What's amazing to me is that they have as much gravity as media stories when it comes to driving traffic. So again, the users are always going to tell you. And I just want to point out question number 6, which is, I think, is the really most important thing whenever groups come to me and want to talk about social media. The one thing I have to say is, it's not for this year's G&Os. You're building a relationship, and you're going to have to do the math, and you're going to have to show me that this company is going to be able to sustain a meaningful investment in that relationship for at least 5 years. I'm going to leave you with something I know e-patient Dave provided. The Clue Train Manifesto, the 10th anniversary book, is out this year and starts with Markets of Conversation, but it's that last 195 that really should make us sit up and take notice. Thanks.